Good morning. Today's lesson is 2.2. We are going to be dividing by one-digit divisors. So our essential question today is, how do you solve and check a division problem? So, unlocking the problem. Jenna's family is planning on a trip to Oceanside, California. They will begin their trip in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and will travel 2,754 miles over 9 days. If the family travels an equal number of miles every day, how far will they travel? So when you code the question, remember you want to know what, you want to underline the question, what you're looking for. So how far will they travel each day if they travel an equal number of miles? So we're underlining the sentence that tells you what you're trying to find. Then you're going to circle the numbers that you need. So we're going to need the 2,754 miles, and we're going to need the 9 days. So if we're looking at these and we're going 9 days into 2,754 miles, we are going to divide. So one way that we could do that is we can estimate. So you want to think about 9. 9 can go equally into 27. So if I did 9 divided going into 2,700, I should be able to get an easy number. Well, 9 goes into 27 3 times, and then I have my extra 2 zeros, right? So just like when we were doing base 10, so we have 300. 2,700 divided by 9 is 300. So the first digit of the quotient is going to be in the hundreds place, okay? So that means it's going to be here. My 3 is going to be there, right? So now I'm going to divide the hundreds. So 9 goes into 27 3 times. We already said that. That's 27. 9 times 3 is 27. I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to get a 0. Now I'm going to bring down the 5. Okay? 9. Can 9 go into 5? No. 9 can't go into 5. So I'm going to put a 0 here and a 0 there because 9 can't go into 5. So I have 5 again. Now I'm going to bring down my 4. Can 9 go into 54? Yeah, it can go in 6 times. 6 times 9 is 54. Okay? And 54 minus 54 is 0, so I have no remainders. So if I'm looking at this, hold on. Okay, so I've done step 2. I've divided the hundreds, I've divided the tens, and I've divided the ones. So since 306 is close to my estimate of 300, the answer should be reasonable because it's only 6 away, right? Jenna's family will travel 306 miles a day. The reason we estimate is not to torture you. It's so that you can check to make sure that you are close to what the answer should be with easy numbers. Okay, now we've always talked about opposites, right? So the opposite of division is multiplication, right? They're the inverse operations. Subtraction, it's addition, right? So if you want to check your subtraction problem, you can add the numbers together and you can find out if you got the right answer. Same thing with addition. Well, it works the same way with division and multiplication. So we're going to connect right here. It says connect. Division and multiplication are inverse operations. Inverse operations are the opposite operation that undo each other. You can use multiplication to check your answer of a division problem. So let's look at our example. To check your answer to a division problem, multiply the quotient by the divisor. If there is a remainder, add it to the product. The result should equal the dividend. Okay, so if I'm looking here, my quotient is 102, right? My divisor is 6. So if I multiply 102 by 6, right, and I add the remainder of 2, I should get 614. So let's try that. So 6 times 2 is 12. So I put my 2 here, I put my 1 above there. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is going to be 1. 6 times 1 is 6, so I have 612. Now I have to add my remainder, my 2, right? So I'm going to get 614. And there we go, 614. So my answer is right. 614 divided by 6 is 102 with a remainder of 2. So let's try this. You can use what you know about checking division to find an unknown value. Find the unknown number by finding the value of the n in the related equation. So 7 or something divided by 7 gives me 63. So this something, right, I can write it as 7 times 63 is going to give me what this blank number is, right? So if I have 63 times 7, 7 times 3 is 21, carry my 2. 6 times 7 is 42 plus 2 is 44. So the n is 441. So that's what would go in this blank, 441. Okay, let's look at B. We know that 752 divided by 6 is 125 with a remainder of something, right? So we can say 6 times 125 plus this unknown gives me 752. So if I put my 752 on the outside, I have 6 times the 125 plus my unknown answer. So let's first see what 125 is times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3 is 15. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So I have 750. So 750 plus whatever this unknown is 752. Well, 750, 752, I know it must be 2. So n must be 2 because 750 minus 752 is that remaining little addition of 2. Okay, for the next 3 problems, we're going to divide like we did yesterday, only this time we're going to actually check our answer and make sure that we got the right one. So the first answer, we have 624 divided by 8. So 8, can it go into 6? Well, we know it can't because 8's bigger than 6, so we're going to have to go to 62. 8 goes into 62. Well, what number can I multiply by 8 to get close to 62? If you don't know, just start with what you know. Well, 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, that's kind of small. 8 times 8 is 64. So that's too much. So let's try 7. So if I'm going to put 8 times 7 is 56. And then I'm going to subtract. Okay, I can't take 2 from 6. I have to make that a 12. And I have to borrow from the 10 spot, making that a 5. So 12 minus 6 is 6. Now I'm going to bring down my 4. Well, we just said 8 times 8 is 64, right? So 8 times 8 is 64. I'm going to subtract. I get nothing left over. Now to check my answer, remember, I'm going to multiply these two numbers, right? My divisor and my dividend. So I have 78 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 7 is 56. Plus 6 is 62. And I get 624, which is right here. So I did my answer correct. Okay, now you're going to do the next one. Can 4 go into 3? No, not equally, right? So we're going to have to go to 32. 4 goes into 32 8 times. 8 times 4 is 32. I'm going to subtract. I get 0. I bring down my 2. 4 can't fit into 2 because it's too small. So I'm going to have to make this one be a 0. Now I'm going to bring down my next 0. So now I have 4 going into 20. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. I subtract and I get 0. So now I'm going to check my answer. I'm going to multiply the 805 times the 4 and I should get 3,220. 805 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 0 is 0 plus the 2 is 2. 8 times 4 is 32. So I get 3,220 and that's exactly what I should get. Let's do this last one together before you do your on your own. 4 can't go into 1, so I'm going to looking at 4 going into 10. 4 goes into 10 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. I'm going to subtract, okay, and I get 2. I'm going to bring down my other 2. Now I have 4 going to 22. Well, 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to subtract, and I get 2 left over. Bring down my last one is a 7. 4 goes into 27. Well, 4 goes into 27 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. I'm going to subtract and I get a remainder of 3. Now this one's the little tricky part. So now I'm going to multiply the 256 times the 4, and whatever I get from that, I'm going to have to add the little 3 of a remainder. So let's check my work. 256 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 4 is 20 plus the 2 is 22. 4 times 2 is 8 plus the 2 is 10. And then I'm going to add my 3 remainder. So I get 4 and 3 is 7. 2, 0, 1. So I get 1,027 and 1,027. So you are doing the on your own, on the carpet with a friend. With me, I'll be on the floor if you have any questions. And then when you're done, you can work on your homework. All right. Thanks, guys.